Tensions rise at a Junkanoo Carnival news conference. Nicole Martin considering an F&M Senate offer, plus a man dies following a traffic accident in South Beach. We've got those stories and a whole lot more tonight. I'm Vonnie Toot and NB12 starts now. Topping news tonight, controversy continues to follow the Bahamas Festival Commission, whose news conference took a dramatic turn today. Leader of Grammy Award-winning group Bahamen, Isaiah Taylor, put the commission on blast and demanded that organizers reveal the name of the international recording artist they're bringing in. Jasmine Brown tells us more.
Taylor brought this morning's press conference to a screeching halt, demanding answers to questions he says he's been asking for the past several months.
I know members of the press have also been waiting for this big announcement. You still will have to wait.
And as it turns out, Taylor also wanted that question answered, and he made that quite clear.
Before I go on any further, I was asking the question now for weeks and cannot get an answer. And before I say anything to anyone, I need an answer. Bahamas is supposed to be opening up for a headliner. I want to know the name of the headliner, not today, now. I need to know that, because you put me in a bad position. I don't like it. See, my loyalty is to the members of Bahamas, nobody else. I've been asking this for the longest period of time, cannot get an answer. I took today off from rehearsal to get this answer. If Bahamas is going to be the headliner, we ready, we're qualified, but we need to talk about that. But in the meantime, I'd like to know who is this headliner that Bahamas is supposed to be opening for. It's very important to me, man. You know, we had Usher to open up for. Somewhere down the line, someone messed that up.
Today's press conference was held to announce which Bahamian musicians would be performing at the festival. Taylor's demands came during his remarks to a room full of Carnival officials and the media. The musician said he doesn't blame the commission and believes people higher up are interfering with the process.
I know it's not the commission, but it really makes the commission look bad also, because the general public look at it as if it is the commission. No, it is someone above the commission jacking everybody up. It needs to stop. I want to know who is the headliner. I don't want no one to skate, to duck, give me the name, because I will tell you press people something. If I don't get it, Bahamas will be having their own press with you guys.
Still, he insisted he believes preparations should be further ahead.
We are ready to go. We are definitely ready to go. The show is ready. And we can't say, oh, be working on it. As far as I'm concerned, we're 18 months behind time. We really should be fine-tuning and not working on something.
Taylor's candid comments drew mumbles from the audience as some looked on in shock and others held their heads down. Festival Commission President Paul Major told Taylor that organizers noted his concerns and would address them. Here's how Taylor responded.
Mr. Chairman, I understand that, but if you all really understand this whole scenario, people plan to where they want to go. It's a plan. It's not like people are just sitting down waiting for us to announce, then they will jump up and say, oh, we're going to the Bahamas. We just need to know these things. Whatever it is, we just need to know, man. And right now, I've been sitting down, asking and trying to get answers and cannot get it. And I'm going to tell the Bahamas right now, I do not like it. Let's get it together, man. We can do it as a country.
And while he didn't get the answers he wanted, he insisted in order for his group to prepare, they needed to know who they were opening up for. CEO of the Bahamas National Festival Committee Roscoe Dames told Taylor the commission was still in negotiations with an international artist, but couldn't reveal who it was.
Isaiah, at this particular juncture, regardless of who the headline is, I'm not at liberty to disclose that until negotiations have been finalized, because if we preempt that, it may interfere with the negotiation. At this particular time, we wanted to introduce our bands that have been already engaged to participate in Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival, and in due course, when that information becomes finalized, we'll make the announcement. But at this time, I'm not at liberty to disclose negotiations that are ongoing.
Now, NB12 News understands the government is trying to close a deal with Barbadian singer Rihanna to perform. This after attempts to secure Janet Jackson fell through. Despite his displeasure, Taylor says Bahaman will honor its commitment and perform at the carnival. Other Bahamian acts set to perform include Jay Mitchell, Visage, and the T Connection. Reporting for NB12, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union President Nicole Martin has confirmed she is considering an offer from Free National Movement leader Dr. Hubert Minnis for her to fill the Senate seat left vacant by the recent resignation of Heather Hunt. When asked what a voice in the Senate would mean for the labor movement, Martin said any platform that trade unionists can use to bring about changes for workers in the country is a plus. Minnis would not comment on his offer to Martin, but told NB12 the new F&M senator would be a woman.
I can say with 100% certainty that it will be a woman.
Minnis has reportedly faced pushback within the F&M after asking Hunt to resign and for considering Martin. However, he says he is unfazed.
As leader, you must take the good as well as the bad. That's a part of leadership.
And how soon will we hear who her replacement is?
When that time arrives, you most certainly will know.
And were you expecting her to resign so soon after your meeting?
I won't go into F&M internal politics.
Hunt, who resigned more than 2 weeks ago, said her resignation was in line with Minnis' decision that Senate appointments would be for a period of 2.5 years. However, F&M Senator Kwesi Thompson, who was appointed to the Senate in 2012 along with Hunt, has not been asked to resign. Prime Minister Perry Christie expressed shock that Minnis would ask the party's only female senator to resign. However, Minnis urged the PLP to stay out of the F&M's business.
I do not get into PLP business, and they need not get into mine. When the time is right, you will know who the replacement is.
Minnis is also said to be considering attorney Lanisha Roll, former F&M candidate for Fox Hill Chanel Ferguson, and attorney Monique Gomez, who is the former F&M candidate for South Beach and president of the party's Women's Association. Education Minister Jerome Fitzgerald says all public schools are on alert following confirmed cases of scabies at 5 schools, including one on the Family Islands. Fitzgerald warns there is a chance that more cases can pop up. Dana Smith reports.
Teachers and hundreds of school children were screened for scabies last week after 3 schools on New Providence reported confirmed cases. 2 more schools in Andros bring the total to 5. Education Minister Jerome Fitzgerald said health and education officials are now trying to educate parents in an effort to prevent the spread of the contagious disease.
When you look at where these start, I mean, these don't start in the school, they start in the home. So it's really the environment that the kids come from. And so it's an educational process as well. So we're trying to educate with the Ministry of Health the parents so they can understand what causes it so that they can prevent it.
Cases of the disease have already been confirmed at Woodcock Primary, D.W. Davis, and T.A. Thompson.
We received a report in North Andros of a case, again with siblings. There was one in North Andros High, I think, and then one in Mastic Point, 2 siblings. And we addressed that very quickly. And so, again, you know, just trying to stay on top of it. We have all of our schools on alert now for any signs to bring it to our attention quickly. We are now, as I said, working very closely with the Ministry of Health and the Public Health Authority so that we can address any concerns that arise very quickly.
Fitzgerald said in total there have only been about 6 cases of the disease so far. Last week, D.W. Davis and T.A. Thompson temporarily closed their doors after it was found students at those 2 schools had the disease. Fitzgerald said the spread has been contained to a great extent thanks to quick responses from education and health officials.
Based on advice we received from the Ministry of Health and from the Public Health Authority that they wanted us to do a particular type of cleaning and scrub down, which we did, to make sure that the facilities themselves were sanitized properly because those children would have had contact with various spots within the school.
Fitzgerald said he commends the Health Department and the Public Hospitals Authority for their assistance in sanitizing the schools, testing students and teachers, and advising the Education Ministry on what needs to be done to control spreading.
It's something that we're quite aware of. It's not the first time it's happened in school. I'm sure it won't be the last time. But the key is that we're able to respond quickly whenever it does happen.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Dana Smith.
A man died this afternoon when the car he was driving collided with a Mack truck on Zion Boulevard and East Street South. The accident happened shortly after noon, marking the 6th traffic fatality of 2015. Officer in charge of the Police Traffic Division, Superintendent Craig Stubbs, says the victim was believed to be traveling in the wrong lane against the traffic flow when that accident happened.
Our investigation has revealed that the driver of that vehicle would have been traveling west in the eastbound lane, and means he was driving against the flow of traffic. And he made attempts to pass the truck that had the right of way to travel east on the Bamboo Boulevard, and as a result, the collision occurred. As you can see, the vehicle received extensive damage. That tells us that also that speed was a factor in this incident.
EMS personnel pronounced the driver of the 2004 Nissan dead on the scene. The driver and a passenger of the Mack truck bearing the logo Mr. Pickup were not injured. Both vehicles were badly damaged. Stubbs urged drivers to obey traffic laws.
Patience. That's all you need in commuting daily. You need to be patient. We find majority of our accidents on the streets, on the problems today, are as a result of drivers not being patient. Drivers fail to adhere to the traffic rules and regulations. That is, they fail to stop at stop signs, they run traffic lights, they seem to drive in the wrong direction on a one-way street. All that are contributing factors to what we see now, the amount of accidents we see recorded and in regards to serious accidents on the streets of New Providence. So we're going to encourage the drivers to be more patient. If enforcement is needed to take it to the next level, we are more than willing to take enforcement aspect of the ensuring that road safety is achieved.